Hi everyone, welcome to Hue at Home. I'm Tracy Koga and we are celebrating a wonderful day. It is Afrifest and I have the beautiful Ruvumbo Chimusa. And Ruvumbo, this is really such a celebration not only of the community, but for so many things that you do in the community.
Oh yes, we are celebrating everybody today. We're celebrating our grandmothers. We're celebrating technically my grandmothers, Grace and Nelly, and we're celebrating the women, the young girls that we work with back home in Zim. It's just, and obviously the vendors, like the wonderful entrepreneurs and small businesses here in Winnipeg by African, Black, and immigrant business owners.
Okay, so this is the second annual. Tell us a little bit more on what this whole day is going to be like.
So the day is going to include, as I mentioned, the vendors. So we've got vendors from a wide range of backgrounds, all of African descent, who are selling different things. We've got an app today, we have clothes, we have menstrual pads, everything you can imagine. And then we've got the fashion show, which is don't tell anyone this, but my favorite part, we have the grandmas who are going to be modeling their favorite outfits and they're going to be dancing and modeling to their favorite songs. And then we've got just entertainment. So we've got, I believe they're called the Afrobeat. Oh my goodness, they're Afrobeat ladies. They've got a wonderful dance they've been practicing for us. Music, DJs, is a fantastic day.
Well, it just again sounds like an incredible celebration. But your passion, the Grace and Nelly Project, the story is incredible. I know it, but for everybody out there, share that story.
So the Grace and Nelly Project is named after my grandmothers, Grace and Nelly, and I call them the yin and yang of my life. So Grace was a super lovely, loving human being who nurtured and took care of everybody around her. I went to her house, there were always people I didn't know, they weren't related to us. And she was just so welcoming and she was about giving back to the community. And Nelly was spicy, funky, independent, and she went to prison for 5 years because very spicy. And the reason for doing so is because she was fighting for the rights of Black people in Zimbabwe at a time during colonial rule. So they're the yin and yang of my life. They taught me to not only give to the community, but to be independent as a woman. And that's what we do in the community that we work with. So we work with women and young girls. We give them business and entrepreneurship training. We're helping them get on their feet, right, to be able to fend for themselves and their families. And we provide reusable menstrual pads to young girls so they don't miss school, which is something a lot of people don't talk about, even in today's age. Just the idea of not having something to manage your period. It's just, I hate to think about it. So that's what we do. We're lifting young girls and women up in rural communities in Zimbabwe, where I'm from. And that's the story of Grace and Nelly. That's who we are.
Okay, so I know that you've done amazing work back home in Zimbabwe. Right here, though, I noticed so many beautiful young girls and women volunteering. What has been, I guess, the spin-off of the Grace and Nelly Project here in our city?
So what we try and do is make sure that all our fundraisers are giving back to the community in some way. So that's why Afrifest today. We want to work with young women. We want to work with anybody in the community who wants to be a part of us to help them. The same way we're helping people back home. Even though we can't give financial support, we can create a platform, right? To be like, do you have a business? Do you want to sing or dance? Let's give you that platform to do that, to showcase who you are. And so that's what we can do for the community here and advocate, right? Advocate for menstrual rights, advocate for women. And that's what we're trying to do.
And the future now, there's so much, again, like you had mentioned, why is menstruation such a big deal when it shouldn't be a barrier? What other barriers or what other things are you seeing now for the young girls now growing up?
One of the things is just the tools that they need to be able to succeed. So when I say tools, I just mean somebody listening to you, somebody giving you advice, someone mentoring you. So it's one of the things we're trying to do both back home and here. You mentioned the young volunteers. We're trying to bring people together, right? Like the grandmothers, for instance, are such a great source of information for us. Culturally, you go to your grandma and she tells you so much about her life and her past, and that helps you in the future. So we're working on that. And then, in terms of the menstrual pads, we have our social enterprise. So we're trying to sell menstrual pads here in Canada, create awareness through that selling of the menstrual pads, get more people involved, get them interested, get them advocating to, whatever you're advocating for, we're here for that.
Where do you hope this will all go? Where do you see Afrifest going and with alongside the Grace and Nelly Project?
We hope it gets bigger and bigger. So this year we have, I think, roughly 18 vendors. And we're just hoping we get more next year, right? It keeps growing. We want more people to know about the different businesses that are in the community, the black businesses, the businesses of African descent. We want you to go visit them, to buy their products, to learn about what they're doing. We hope to have more grandmas because they are, my favorite part. But as we're doing that, I hope we have more conversations, right? Conversations such as this. It's like, oh, why are you putting on Afrifest? I talk about what we're doing here and what we're doing back home. And so the more people are involved, the more people are engaged. And my hope for Grace and Nelly is that we're all over the world, because my thing is I want every woman to have the opportunities that I've been given, that I've been blessed to have. I want every young girl to have those opportunities wherever you are. You don't just have to be in Zimbabwe, whether in Kenya, Canada, wherever you are. If we have enough funding, if we have enough people behind us, we are willing to go anywhere.
No, no, no.
But we really just want to help people. That's what we want to do. We want to like support as many people as we can.
Well, you're doing it the right way. For more information on the Grace and Nelly Project, where can people go?
So you can go to graceandnelly.org. That's our website. You can visit it. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're there. You have to be. So, you can visit any of our social media websites. You can email me. I have a card. Like if you go on the website, you contact us, it goes straight to my email box and I will respond. That's what we do.
And she does. She will respond. She's a very, very busy young lady. But thank you so much. Congratulations. Afrifest 2023. We are going to continue our visit right now. Welcome back to Hue. We are celebrating Afrifest, and there are so many wonderful people in our community, like Jane. Jane, first of all, your dress is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
But you have an amazing organization, Focus Africa Winnipeg. So first of all, Jane, tell us about this amazing organization and everything that it's doing.
Focus Africa Winnipeg is an organization that we founded in 2004 to help mitigate the HIV/AIDS menace that was finishing off whole villages in Africa at that time. So this organization is based on one of the largest slums in Kenya. It's called Kawangware. And we founded it with a little group of women who are infected by HIV/AIDS. The grandmothers were raising the kids as the parents died of AIDS. And we have helped the mothers, the grandmothers, the children. We first of all started it as a small clinic. That clinic evolved into a kindergarten, and then the kindergarten is now a full-fledged school up to grade 8. And while we do that, sometimes we enabled the women through table banking to start making products. So we help them get over those products here, make sales on their behalf. That's what we are doing in this event. And also we have sponsorship opportunities for the kids that have been growing up through this program. And it would be wonderful for any volunteer who would like to get involved with Focus Africa Winnipeg. Just go Google us on the website and you discover how important work, how Focus Africa is such an important work.
Well, and here's a question for you. Why is it such a passion for you, Jane?
Oh, for me personally, I joined Focus Africa at a point when I really needed to give back to my people back home. I came here in 2001. I have grown myself. I have a flourishing career. But I always felt deep down that I would like to give back to the people who are still struggling back home. And I found partnering with Focus Africa Winnipeg is a great way to give back to my languishing communities in Kenya.
Wow. If there's one thing that you would like to tell everybody out there, something that you would like everybody else to know, what would that be?
That would be how accountable Focus Africa has been in disbanding whatever donations they make. Because there is sometimes the myth that people get, there is a lot of fraud and whatnot, but we partner with what we call, that resource center, finally we called it Beacon of Hope. So the people of Beacon of Hope are so accountable. Whatever donations you give through Focus Africa, you can count on us to explain exactly what we did with your donations, and you'll be more than fulfilled for spending whatever resources you have that way.
Okay, so all important, where's the website that people can go to donate?
Yeah, go to focusafrica.ca. Yeah, .ca is very important because that there are a few other organizations operating on the same name. So be specific, at least make it Focus Africa Winnipeg. Everything will come up, all the minute things we are doing, and it's up to you to choose how you want to support us.
Well, thank you so much, Jane. Your organization is amazing, and some of the products here are simply beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm happy to inform you.
Welcome back to Hue at Home, and we are at the end of our program, but it's a very special time to spend it with grandmothers, and I have a very special one here right now, Myrna. And I know it's going into a fashion show, but let's talk about your relationship with this whole group here.
This group has a passion for doing the right thing in the right way, and that's what draws me, what drew me to be part of the group. I'm a sister group, but part of, and then when you hear of somebody else doing like things in a different country, it's like a magnet. You're drawn. You honor them. And when they ask you to do something that's easy, you can do it.
What makes grandmothers special, regardless of their culture or their color of their skin?
Oh my goodness. Their passion for their grandkids and passion for giving them a vision for the future, which they maybe never had. And I think that's, as a grandmother, the most important role. I have learned much from the grandmothers in Africa, how they have gotten up from their place of rest and filled in for parents who died and raising many numbers of grandchildren. And I stand back in awe, and I listen to them, and I watch them.
And it's interesting because listening is so important. Myrna, besides what you just told me about what you've learned, what do you think other grandmothers who haven't had this experience yet should know?
When I was a young mom, there's a verse in the Bible that says older women should line up with younger women to teach them how to be good mothers and wives and neighbors. And I waited a long time, and one never came. They were all back at work. And then I realized later on that I could have asked somebody. I didn't have to wait. And so I think grandmothers come along to make a path for those that are following behind them, and doing it right. If they're people of faith, then doing it with the help of their father, doing it in a way that honors him and honors their heritage, and provides a path for women to come behind them. And
Well, you come with a lot of wisdom, and you've done a lot of great things, so we're very, very honored for you to share your story with us.
you want me to share my story?
No, I think you've shared everything that
Yeah.
we wanted to.
Yeah.
A little bit about the shirt, though, that you have on. Is there a story with that?
There, I've got two on, but there's a story. You'll see it. But my husband is an HIV physician at the University of Manitoba, so we were asked in 1978 to go to Kenya to help with a sexually transmitted disease. We're there when HIV came. 2000 moved to Uganda to help them take away the reasons why there were no antiretroviral drugs in Africa. And then my husband's sisters lived in the bush in Zambia for 50 some odd years. So I feel like I'm African. And when we had a conference in 2004 to deal with what do we do with HIV/AIDS as churches, as people of faith. And out of that, the African-born women of Manitoba started Focus Africa, saying we need to do something for women, empower them, provide a place of safety. Because we were going back to Africa, they said, Bernie, you have to scout out who it is we're supposed to be partnering with. And I knew Zambia, I knew Uganda. Kenya had not had any help or very little help, way behind. So I asked our Kenyan pastor, who do I need to know? And I met Jane Wathomi of Beacon of Hope and met the women. And I was drawn immediately to the tailors because that was something that we could help with. And I think we could sell that for you. I think we could sell that for you. If you do this to this, I think we could sell it. And so we find people who are coming back and forth. They carry things. We market them for the women. And they get all the money. Everything goes back to them. And so that's what this is. These are mine. Somebody's already tried to buy them, but they are mine. And we have others for sale. And it's an honor to go back and see the women who were tailoring now have their own sewing machines, running their own businesses, and the younger women being trained in the technical school and learning how to do our stuff for us as well as for other people. So it's been a win-win. They tell me, you've blessed us, and I say, you have blessed us at age 80 some odd to have a purpose and to have an impact. That's a gift. That was given to me, and it's wonderful.
Wow. As we have come through the end of this journey, we know that there's so many people in this community that are doing incredible things. Myrna, you're one of them. You and your husband, we thank you. And the community thanks you. And kill it in the fashion show.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and hope you have the best day ever. We'll see you next time on Hue at Home.